Comic Army, happy new comic book day. Yeah, so I'm hoping to do this a few times a month. Just inviting a bunch of different channels to come hang out and show off the new books they picked up today. That being both Halloween and Christmas rolled into one. That happens every Wednesday. New comic book day. Unless you're a DC junkie, then I guess that would have been yesterday. But anyways, I'm gonna bring in my Californian brother.
Welcome to Slap. Oh wait, that's the wrong show.
But
New
yeah,
comic
so
book day.
new comic book day. I gotta admit, I went and dropped an arm and a leg.
Yeah,
It wasn't, yeah, for me, it wasn't that bad, but I do spend, like, I'm not going to say I'm going to put my LCS owners' children through university or whatever, but I sure am paying for their books.
$1.50 for me.
Yeah? Wow. No, I think I'm a little bit less than half than you. So you probably went like 3 or 4 inches thick.
There might be a couple incentives.
But yeah.
It was a
let's
four-finger pour.
Yeah. Would mine be that?
No.
Yeah, that's probably like 3, Rob. Yeah. Oh, you win. All right. Yeah, but I know you're a ratio guy. That's the difference.
Yeah,
my LCS is not one of those. I do go to a light. There are some heavy hitter comic shops that are in my vicinity and obviously in Toronto. But the guy who I go to, who I'm kind of faithful to, he doesn't get big ratio books. He may get the 1 in 10 or whatever, but unless it's a new #1 that he thinks a lot of people are going to just come out of the woodwork for, like I asked him today, did you get the Infinite Frontier Puppeteer Lee Dark Side cover ratio? That was, I believe it's a 1 in 25. He looked at me, he was like, "Come on, Chris, what do you think? What do you think?" There's just no way.
For any of the Marvel DCs, it's not uncommon probably for my shop to get 1 or 2 if it's a 1 in 25 of almost any book that has it, just because they're a big enough shop in a big enough area, right? I mean, Silicon Valley. But when you get to some of the big ones, I mean, like when we get to the Batman, right? The regular Batman title. That one, when they're doing 1 in 50, still have multiples of those usually because so many people are getting Batman just off of subscriptions, let alone other stuff. So,
yeah, I want to just say hello to Las Cruces 1971. Hope you're doing well. Becker, hope you're doing well. I sent you an invite on IG, my man. If you want to come out and join us again, show off the books that you picked up in Mizzou. Las Cruces, hello from New Mexico. Hello from Ontario. Hello from California. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Stephen C., thanks for joining me, my man. Hope that you enjoy the hangout tonight. And yeah, so for those that notice a little bit of difference here, above Rob's handsome face there, you can see my logo. So I decided to, decided to spend a little bit of money with this live stream and StreamYard, so now I can play with layout. I was just showing Rob.
You're so fancy.
I know. It's almost like Slab Hub in here. Like, check this out.
Technology has come to Canada.
Boom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, technically my logo is right behind there.
Yeah, I don't know if the green was the right background for it.
It's right there. Yeah.
Maybe a nice camo background or something.
Yeah, that's an idea. Maybe next time. But I gotta admit, this is pretty cool. But I do enjoy seeing your handsome face and that mustache right up close. So we'll wait for some other people decide to join us. But all right. I guess I'll go first because yours is probably going to be a lot more entertaining. So
it depends on what you like.
Yeah.
I am pretty mainstream.
You are pretty mainstream. All right. I don't need to shrink you because, the two of us.
No, you can put us in the mode where I'm off to the side a little bit because now you have that fancy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to. Again, I'm doing this off my phone.
Because your phone, yeah.
Is this the one?
There you go. Yeah, look at you.
All right. I'll figure it out.
You're special now.
So this is a book that Rob and I were literally backstage just talking about. And he's still in the process of reading it, and I finished it just a few minutes ago. And it's issue #1, the Eat Bang Kill Tour. It's Harley Quinn the animated series, issue #1. There was a variant cover, Rob, at my LCS. I got to admit, I didn't like it, so I just went with just the normal.
The B cover as opposed to the incentive cover.
Yeah, I think it was the B cover.
Yeah.
I was just, I was just fine with just getting this cover.
Yeah.
It's a good read. It's, I gotta admit, it's pretty, it's comedic, for what it is.
If you're
It
a
had
fan
a,
of the show,
mhm.
you'll be a fan of the book.
Yeah, it has that Thelma and Louise vibe to it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Uh, from Aftershock, it's issue number 3, Beyond the Breach. This is a book that I've been reading right from issue number. Well, it's only at number 3,
So that would
so
be the stock.
that this is yeah. Yeah,
Or
it's
or is it beyond as the breach is instead of not behind it but in front of it, in which case it would be the barrel.
hmm hmm.
I'm
Anyways,
not sure.
you know where this takes place? California. They know how to party.
They do. That's the rumor.
Oh. Speaking of,
California.
so yeah, issue number 3 of Ed Brisson's Beyond the Breach. So Rob, I don't know if you know, but today Rolling Stone magazine released their top 500 songs of all time.
Oh
Now,
yeah. Okay.
I'm going to spoil the hell out of this list, everyone. So for those that are watching, in the top 20 was John Lennon's Imagine. In the top 50, I believe the Beatles had 2 songs. The highest rank was I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Really?
Yes, I was very, very disappointed that number 1 was not Hey Jude, or at least Hey Jude in the top 5. Hey Jude is not even in the top 50. But in the top 5,
you could argue individual songs, but I mean, there's so
yeah,
many that are so good.
but the
I mean,
Beatles, yeah,
I don't even consider myself a Beatles fan yet. Then I'll sit there and I can sit there and listen to like 20, 30 different songs,
yeah,
Beatles, and go like, oh my God, these are all great.
yeah. And I know Strawberry Fields Forever was there, and yeah. Anyways, the top 5, because it is a modern take as well as the classic stuff. They try to do everything that's been happening in modern music since I think the 30s. Like I think there may have been a Billie Holiday song in the top 50, but top 5, Smells Like Teen Spirit was there.
They've had a hard on for Nirvana since day one, and I do not understand the utter fascination with Nirvana or grunge music at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can appreciate some of the songs, but number 5 all time?
Top 5 all time. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
That's a bit of a reach.
Okay, now this number 1, you're going to kind of be like, all right, I don't know if it's number 1, but number 2, sir. Both you and I are Gen Xers.
Oh, okay,
so
yeah, I pulled up the list. I see where you're at here. Yeah,
number 2, I was not that I have a problem with this song, but I was surprised to see that it's number 2 and maybe not top 30. But number 2 was Public Enemy's "Fight the Power." Now, if you're going to put that type of song, like a revolutionary taking on the man song, I kind of think you probably would have gone with Rage Against the Machine, Killing in the Name of. Versus Fight the Power.
I see what you're saying, but you know,
Fight the Power was first. I get that.
This is really this song when it came out and its impact into at that time. This was rap music, not hit. This is pre-hip hop, right? That song really starts, and Public Enemy at that time is the beginning of really getting some kind of social commentary from those communities and from that within that genre. Prior to that, most of what we had was party music, The Kid and Play, Eric B and Rakim, or just some little fronting stuff, LL Cool J versus Cool Mo D stuff that was going on. You had the Fat Boys, you had to Run DMC. It was nothing. There was party music, other type of music was going on, Better Than You and I Love Girls and Girls Love Me music, but Public Enemy really kind of brought the beginning of the insight of what the lifestyle of these communities and how they were different, and really rising up and pushing, I think, a lot of that and giving African Americans a stronger voice than they necessarily had, even though the voices had been growing through the 70s and the late 60s with Martin Luther and Malcolm X and all that stuff.
The one thing I can add to that, why I do feel it's a very important song, it's attached to one of the most important films of all time, Do the Right Thing. And so I get it. But number 2, interesting. But number 1 caught me off guard, but it's hard to argue with Aretha Franklin's Respect. Personally, it wouldn't be my number one. It probably wouldn't be your number one either, Rob, because I know that, like I said, we're both Gen Xers. However, it's hard to argue Aretha
I
Franklin's
love
importance
Aretha
in modern
Franklin, though.
music. And again, I think Respect is just one of those songs that everybody, black, white, whatever color you want to say, whatever race, creed, whatever, everyone enjoys that song. So it's a controversial pick, but it's a song everyone,
I really
for
don't
lack of a
even.
better term, respects.
What is their criteria? I'm going to have to go back and read it. 500 greatest songs of all time. I'm not sure what the ranking system is, because I look at this list that they put out. Just I'm looking at the top 25. Well, I don't see it. I mean, are these good songs? Sure, but that high up the food chain over others, that I don't know. And I'm not even talking about just current music. I'm talking about music from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. I mean, oh my God. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody is 17, okay, but gets beat out by
should be higher.
Freaking Beyonce and Jay-Z, Crazy in Love.
Now again, that's a very good song. It's a great song.
Stevie Wonder, Superstition, 12. Okay, that's good.
Is it better than Prince's Purple Rain? Like, because I know Purple Rain is barely in the top 20.
Of all the Beach Boys at number 11 with God Only Knows? Really? That's the song?
Yeah, of all the Beach Boys songs, too. God Only Knows? Yeah, Mars. Yeah,
I guess
Respect is a great song, but man, like, I think Respect would be in everyone's top 100 list.
I mean, Missy Elliott, Get Your Freak On is number 8. All time. Greatest
and there's
song?
the controversy, right? Like, Get Your Freak On versus Hey Jude. But again, I get they're trying to.
Well, over Stevie Wonder, Superstition?
Yeah, Superstition is timeless. Like that bass line, like that is. Yeah.
All right, let's move on from this. This isn't music talk. Oh God, so that's just killing me.
This
thanks a lot for bringing that up and giving me something else to rant about, you bastard.
To carry on,
more things for me to be an angry white man about. Her.
My second favorite cover of the week.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have to correct that. An angry white male, cisgender white male. There you go.
Right.
Something else to be an angry curmudgeon. Root of all evil.
My second favorite cover the second favorite cover and my choice for second best cover of the week is Black Widow 11, which is actually a one-shot within the arc. I've been reading Black Widow since number 1 by Kelly Thompson, and I think this cover is just terrific.
It's hard to see. I was just trying to see where the way the smoking barrel bleeds into the plunging neckline is really an interesting artistic effect. Let's go with that.
All right. So I like to say thanks to James Willie, who has joined us
Mars
out there on your coast, just north of the border. Thanks for spending some time with us. I see that
Mark, Legion of Comics.
My Georgian heterosexual brother has joined us. Feel free to hop on the stream whenever you got a moment, Mark. And I picked up number 1 of Kang the Conqueror. I thought it was pretty good, so I picked up issue number 2. This is also a very cool cover.
I hope it is good for you guys.
Yeah, you're not into it?
I'm trying. You know what? Whenever they come out these event series, these little mini series that tie in, that happen to come out at the same time as certain stuff that they're doing, the synergy books, right? The Kang book, the relaunch of Shang-Chi just before the movie, the relaunch of Eternals. And I look at them and they're like money grabs to me, and I really tend to ignore them. Though I hope that for the people who are picking up and reading, that they are really good stories, and I'm just again being a curmudgeon.
Now, generally speaking, I agree with you 100%, except when there's characters that I need to educate myself a little bit about. So Shang-Chi, I knew was being filmed, and there was actually a mini series that was last year. I picked that one up and read it and tried to figure out the character and get some education about it. and it was nothing like the one that was in film. Now,
Yeah,
King the Conqueror, I do know a little bit about from reading the Fantastic Four growing up as a teenager. But again, there was nothing wrong with getting a history lesson. Get it?
true. Although it is what I do like about comic book movies is that they can introduce characters. I don't have to be familiar with them, and and while they'll put in the Easter eggs and the stuff that's there for the people who are the longtime fans, but the fact of the matter is you don't have to have 40 years of character knowledge to go watch the movie and enjoy it. They're going to give you their version, and a matter of fact, sometimes it's better if you don't go in with that, depending on how much they choose to alter the character.
Yeah, and that's how that was my forethought going into Invincible, and I wanted to know nothing about the character. I just wanted to enjoy that Amazon show for what it was, and I fell in love with it. And
Right.
I think I picked up the reprints foil cover of Invincible #1 last October for Comic Book Shop Day or whatever that came out, and that's the only Invincible book that I got. So,
yeah, that's the stuff where I'll go back and I'll go pick up the trades.
Yep. I picked up Wakanda issue #1. I do enjoy the Black Panther. So this says The Last Annihilation, so I'm presuming that's either a Marvel event or what's happening in Wakanda. And yeah. So I'll give it a go. Wakanda #1. I keep telling my shop owner to take this book off my list, and he hasn't, and I feel like a scumbag if I were to give it back to him and say that's enough.
Yeah, no, I had that happen today. There was something in my pool that I canceled months ago, and so I had no problems putting it back on the shelf.
Oh.
especially since there was a book on the shelf that was on my pull list that didn't get pulled, so I essentially swapped a book for a book.
Well, it's hard to put down Alex Ross. However, Chris Cantwell's Iron Man has not been that good. Fingers crossed that issue #12 turns it around. This is some good Alex Ross. Is it his best? Yeah.
No.
The background's a little mailed in or whatever, but it's hard for me to knock the master.
Take some LSD while I read that cover.
Yeah, Strawberry Fields Forever.
James, thanks for the heads up. I'll watch my language.
Switching over to DC, another series that I've been reading quietly and enjoy it is Wonder Woman. This is just a normal A cover of Wonder Woman 774. Not the best Wonder Woman cover.
That is a very 80s looking Wonder Woman.
Yeah, considering how good Wonder Woman covers have been, especially
late
in the
80s.
last 12 months. I think we got Dead Man there on the cover.
Hair, that mane of hair on her head. My goodness.
Yeah, it's like Tawny Katane would be proud.
Although I do like, I'm almost curious about that book just because Dead Man's on it.
Yeah.
Dead Man is not a character you put on a cover to try to tease additional readers. So that must mean that he's actually in it.
It hasn't been that good, Mars. But yeah, I've been really enjoying Wonder Woman's run.
The book that Mars was talking about, Iron Man. Yeah, I read the first like 3 issues of the new launch, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Tapping out.
Yeah, I thought Cantwell's run was better than Dan Slott's run. That was just, oh my god, I don't know what Dan Slott was doing. Like he went off Spider-Man and just took it out on Marvel for sure. But yeah, again, Alex Ross has got the cover. But anyways, a book that was not available in my LCS last week because they, I guess this
got shorted.
The order from DC got screwed up. So I was not able to pick up my own hot pick from two hot picks last week, and that was Batman 112, continuing on the Fear State arc, which began in Fear State Alpha. But this is issue 112. Now I know what you're thinking, Rob.
Am I?
Why didn't you grab that B cover? But don't worry.
And the cover is really sexy cover.
I did pick up the B cover. That could be the best Scarecrow cover I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I do really like this iteration of the costuming for the Scarecrow.
Yeah. It is. That's pretty sweet for its simplicity with the background and everything. Like there is the shadow of Batman's cape behind him. I don't know if this lighting does it justice.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this to me was one of the best covers last week for sure. I picked up issue 1 of 7, the beginning of the mini series for Titans United. This can be a comic book, but it's also probably known as a football club over in Europe, Titans United. If you see what I did there.
Yeah. I remember looking at that one long and hard. Actually, I was looking more at the B cover on that one. But I ended up leaving it on the shelf.
Yeah. All right. I've been thoroughly enjoying Chip Zdarsky's Justice League Last Ride. This is issue 5, and by far the worst cover of the lot. This might be the worst cover of the week, as far as I'm concerned. But it's been such a good story with Justice League dealing with trying to hide Lobo on Apocalypse, and every force in the universe is coming after them looking for Lobo. But this is not a good cover. This is barely an interior. Hold on, I gotta come on,
That is
each their own.
That is such an awful drawn Superman.
Yeah,
I mean,
and look at Flash's face. But
look at I mean, Superman's arm. That straight arm. It's like he's an action figure from the 80s with no articulation.
Yeah.
Just
Star Wars from 78.
No.
And the thing is, his arm doesn't fit his body.
No, I sometimes there are certain times, there have been lately a fair number of covers that when I'm looking at them, I go, dude, do you not have a figure that one of those figure you can put into a pose and then draw to see how anatomy works? I mean, it's just, why do your characters have dislocated joints? Do they not have access to medical? Could they become Canadians so they can get medical care? I mean, I worry about them.
But yeah, as bad as what this cover is, the story's been really, really good. As most of us would agree, Chip Zdarsky is a fantastic writer.
Justice and the Canadian way.
Right. Well, Superman does have that little bit of Canadian to him. All right.
You notice he commutes down from Canada. He's got his Fortress of Solitude up there in Canada, but he commutes down. He commutes down to the U.S. Yeah.
Right. Joe Shuster, remember, did have Canadian blood in him, and Metropolis was supposed to be based on Toronto. So they say. Anyways, this past Sunday, 2 cool guys who have picks. Myself and Mark from Legion of Comics. Like every Sunday, we throw 2 picks that we think maybe you should consider today, New Comic Book Day, for various reasons. Mark's hot pick was a story-based pick, and he went with Jeff Lemire's Primordial #1 from Image Comics. I went just with the normal A cover because it's fantastic. I'll be honest. Like this is just cool. Talking about those two monkeys that the United States sent into space after the Russians sent their dog. And beginning the space race right in the middle of the Cold War. And I loved Cold War history, let me tell you. Primordial #1 has me intrigued. Mark beat me to the punch when it came to the hot pick. And but it's hard to argue with this. I think everyone basically picked up this book today. Go ahead, Rob, sorry.
Nope, didn't.
All right. My hot pick was basically a cover pick. I have been enjoying the Fantastic Four life story. Last issue focused on the 80s.
I was thinking, when you said Primordials, I was thinking of Leonard Nimoy's Primordials from back in the 90s, which I did read.
Right.
I thought they were relaunching it. Sorry. Evolved from various other animals from Earth, right? But like taking the space or whatever. And I thought this was like going with this is like a relaunch where they took the monkeys and the monkeys disappear into space or something and somehow start to evolve and come back as the primordial. That's why I got it all confused. But now I'm thinking of it. This is great. I'm going to have to write my own. Sorry. Copyright pending.
Issue #4 of the Fantastic Four life story focuses in on the 90s. This is basically the story arc is going to be Ben Grimm dealing with the breakup of from Alicia, and I'm presuming Johnny swooping in and stealing Ben's
What?
girlfriend.
Girlfriend, I
Yeah,
thought they got married.
yeah. Who, Ben and Alicia?
Yes.
No,
I
no.
have
They
the
were.
wedding issue.
You sure it's not the Human Torch and Alicia's wedding?
No, Ben
Okay.
Grimm and Alicia Masters. They got
Yeah.
like married like at the beginning of this run, like coming right out of the two for ones when they brought Fantastic Four back from the frickin' whatever they were off trying to rebuild the galaxy with Franklin, burning him out.
Right.
I stopped reading Fantastic Four after about 12, 10, 7 issues in because it was boring the hell out of me. But
Okay.
Ben got married because I remember he went on a honeymoon, got turned back in, got human form for a moment for his honeymoon. Thanks, Reed. But the Hulk showed up, being controlled by Alicia's dad.
Of course.
No, none of this sounds familiar.
Not at all.
Chat, am I high? Am I making this all up or
Was this a
what?
what if?
I'm
But
totally confused here. You're saying that they're breaking up. That's killing me.
well, that happened in the normal story arc.
Oh, is this a what if?
No, the one you're talking about?
No, the one you're talking about.
No, the one I'm talking about is Life Story.
Who's
So
on
Life,
first?
right? Who is on first?
No.
My hot pick was the Fantastic Four Life Story #4, focusing in on the 90s, basically because of the cover.
Oh, so in the past.
So what this storyline is just a reimagining of Lee and Kirby's original take on the Fantastic Four, and basically giving all the massive events and slightly tweaking it. It's actually been pretty good. And
See,
but this was my pick because of the cover.
that
So
makes
here
more
we have
sense.
downtown Manhattan, and you can see the Baxter Building there, and the Silver Surfer appears,
Right.
and in the background you can see
Galactus. Yeah.
Galactus, and also right here and here are Galactus's eyes. You can see those two white spots there. But yeah, now I thought this was just a fantastic cover, just a nice postmodern, simple take. I think it was just beautiful in its simplicity, but with Galactus being very, very much in the shadows there, I thought it was just
Well, that makes so much
perfect.
more sense. This is a story in the past, not in the current timeline.
Correct.
See, that makes sense because back then in the 90s, yeah, Ben Grimm and Alicia broke up and all that other stuff. God damn, you had me scared.
But yeah, so that's my haul for the day. I'll just go through it quickly again, guys. FF Life Story, my cover of the week, my hot pick. Primordial #1, Mark's hot pick. Last Ride 5, great story, horrible cover. Titans United, cool comic book, could also be a football club over in Europe, issue #1 of 7. A great cover from last week, was not available for me last week. Batman 112, the B, and the A. The A is actually a really good cover too. Wonder Woman 779, as Rob here says, with that 80s freaking look to it.
Late 80s, early 90s hair. Yeah.
Yeah, you got Dead Man on the cover.
I bet you when she transforms back into Diana Prince, she has shoulder pads in her sports coat.
White with the sleeves rolled up.
Yes.
Alex Ross's cover of Iron Man 12. Wakanda #1. King the Conqueror #2. My pick for second best cover of the week, a one shot within its normal story arc, Black Widow 11. That's just a fantastic cover as well. From Aftershock issue #3, Beyond the Breach.
Don't drop them.
And the fun, Harley Quinn, The Last Tour, issue #1. Or pardon me, the animated series, The Eat Bang Kill Tour. I don't know why I said The Last Tour. Man, I'm just thinking Justice League, The Last Ride. Anyways. Let's change the layout here. Boom.
Boom, shalakalaka boom. Well, that was phenomenal, sir.
Thank you.
Things that make you say.
Hmm.
So, you want me to show mine?
It's time.
It's time for Animaniacs. No. Put yourself on the screen, too, like you did for me, man. I want to be able to see your reaction. There you almost go.
Oh.
Now you just drag and swap. And
Oh, is that how it works?
yeah.
Boom.
Shapow. Now you are high tech. I had also the Harley Quinn Eat, Bang, Kill tour. I love me some Harley Quinn fun books like this. Reminds me more of the Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti runs that we've had, and not the current drivel. I had to pick up the incentive variant on the eBank. So this one I can read, this one in zip away, and then I also have actually on order the Dynamic Forces slabbed version. And of course, Joker 7. This one was not on my pull list for some reason. I had to pull it off the shelf, but it was the only cover I saw on at my LCS this week for Joker. But it's fine. I like Punchline. I will grab myself a Punchline cover and be on the lookout for something else. We might have been shorted. I heard them talking about DC being shorted again. The I Am Batman #1.
Yep.
And the incentive variant, which at first I thought this was the same as last week, because last week for Batman 1, whatever you got there, 12, whatever
112,
yeah, there was a cover that was almost identical to this for the 1 in 50, and so that's what I thought this was at first. And then I read it, and then it says I Am Batman, even though it says Batman here. When you go down really small, it says I Am Batman #1. So,
all right.
And when I scanned it, it came up as a completely different book. So there you are.
Okay, Rob. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Beckerman.
Hey, everybody.
Mike, how are you?
What is up?
The Future State
Thanks
Gotham,
for joining us.
My favorite black and white book. And by that, I mean it's written in black and white, and I don't really like it, but it's the only black and white book I get. So there you are. But I keep picking it up for some dumb reason, including the variant. It just for some. I don't know how a book this colorful can be black and white inside, other than that maybe DC is just really trying to be cheap and not pay for a colorist. The franchise of Star Wars, Mr. Darth Vader.
Agreed.
Get some Boosh.
Boosha.
And the Bosch, whatever you want to pronounce it.
So
variant.
What number are they at with that Bounty Hunters saga run right now?
739.
It's pretty expansive.
They just keeps, hey, if we put out 3 more, will Rob spend money on them? He frippin' did.
Yes.
That guy will buy anything.
The Batman
That's a great cover
Legends, the Batman Beyond on it. Supposedly here we find out some more about the end of Bruce Wayne's life and Batman Beyond going after his killer or whatever. I'll know if I bother to crack it open. Some of these, I have to admit, these square bound books like this, I'm really hesitant to crack them and read them.
Is it because you're thinking possible 9.9 when you buy them?
I'm thinking just a 9. I'm just thinking concerned about losing the 9.8.
Oh, okay.
So either I have to buy like another copy or I have to go online and go get an online read. All right. Then I have a couple books that were historical pickups for me. I, for some reason, missed picking up the Clown Hunter book, so I grabbed that. And then because I completely intentionally slept on this and made a conscious decision not to pick it up. But all you bastards keep telling me how great this series is. I happen to be walking through beyond the new release shelf and into the somewhat recently released shelf before it goes to the bins. And they had a huge stack still of Spider-Man, Spider Shadow #1, and then number 2.
Great cover.
And they only had one copy remaining of number 3, but so I could grab it, so I could pick up number 4. But apparently, I guess number 5 came out, and my shop had only gotten 2 copies in. They're trying to get more, but it has fallen off the diamond order sheet, so they're not even sure if they can even order more copies of number 5. But
I'm going to bring in another guest. It's Scott from Hoarder's Hide.
woohoo!
Scott, my friend, how are you?
Hey, Scott.
But so yeah, that's
Good.
my.
I've got a haul today, but it's just back issues. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to do a cataloging video, and I thought, what the hell? Let's just jump on here and do them.
All right. Sounds good.
That's all I got there, Chris.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like I said it's not really all that much, but it's those variants that get me.
Mike, I'm going to have you hold on a sec, just because I'm fascinated by Scott's old book collection.
I love me some.
And I do. I love me some Battlestar Galactica.
I just got 2 issues of that today. I found in the dollar bin or 75-cent bin.
Nice.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Picked up a ton of Jonah Hex and a big old stack of Conan.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Well, you got some royalty Conan, too. Very good.
Yep, got some King.
That's awesome.
Not to be confused with Kang the Barbarian, which is a completely different crossover series.
Yeah, my LCS, it's not my LCS. It's just one that's close, and it's actually not the best, but they must have picked up a collection, and they reorganized. So it was a little bit more appealing when I popped in today. And the fact I found this huge run of raw Conan's helped.
Show them off. Show them off. Let's take a look at them, Scott. I got some love for Conan.
For the Conans?
Not as much as the Gary B.
Oh, no. I will not even pretend, but yes. What issue number is that?
Issue 1 of King.
Thought so. Yep.
You can tell by the number in the top left corner.
I can't see the top left corner.
Oh, your phone. That's right.
I'm on my phone.
Get a bigger monitor.
I'm trying.
I miss when comics had box art. You got that little picture up there.
Yes.
It just little touches like that mean so much. And then big Barbarian run. There's actually, I didn't even bother to look up issues to see whether I had them or not, because I knew I was going to get them for 75 cents a piece.
They still look like they're in great shape.
They're not bad, especially for
Like
being
there's a good, a good sheen to them. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of issue in the 100s and low 100s. Not a
How
lot.
How long was Roy Thomas's run on Conan? Did he do like 120 issues, something like that?
He was on it up to I think you're pretty close.
I was guessing. I was guessing based on years, and I was just timesing.
Yeah, 115. It looks like his last.
So I was within 5.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty damn good guess.
I love Roy Thomas.
Ooh, that's a good cover.
God,
there's a lot of them I haven't seen. I'm not sure who this thing is there. Kind of reminds me of Man-Thing a little bit.
Yep.
A couple of these will have to go in the press. It looks like that could be Red Sonja there. I don't know. King size annual number 4. There was only a couple sub 100 issues, but again, I just started putting the run together a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So I not being indiscriminate at this point.
Conan had such a. Now that's a cover.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting. Ernie Chan.
Yeah, I was trying to
Awesome.
figure that out, but yep, that makes sense. Who is your favorite Conan artist, Scott?
I mean, you can never go wrong with Barry Windsor Smith, but
Yep.
I actually like the second series where they had, ton of different artists doing work. Linsner did a lot of the covers on that second series, and did some of the issues. So I can't fault anything he did, but that John Buscema's work on Conan was. I mean, he did. I forget how many issues he did. He did quite a few, though.
Yeah,
but I would have to probably go, on the original run, Barry Windsor, then Buscema.
Yeah, I would probably go the exact same way, though. For a while, I was definitely Team John.
And that's it on the Conans.
Wow.
So, but yeah, it was a good random stop today.
I'd say so.
All
yeah, I got all those for 100. And get into this. I got one book in my mail call today that I figure Rob will like anyways.
It sounds golden age.
From over the weekend.
Well, it could be.
That sounds golden
any
age
number
already.
of things. I have a wide.
Sounds Buck Rogerish.
Oh, dude,
I'm on the hunt for some Buck Rogers.
Yeah, my two Buck Rogers I have that are. Oh no, I got my Buck Rogers 4. That's in the.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Real Fact Comics.
Look at the color on that
That's
book.
The yellows and the reds and the blue.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the Mylar helps, but
yeah, but still, it can only do so much.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
The contrast in colors is still quite impressive. Ooh,
1947.
That was the year my father was born.
Yeah.
Look at that. Even the back color or the back cover is in color. Look how bright that red is.
Yeah, no, it's
that almost looks brighter than the front. Wow.
Random claim sale this weekend. Somebody threw it up and talked to him on IG and made a deal with him for that and a few other books he had.
And what are the page? Can we show the interior again real quick?
Not quite white, but
yeah, it's off white to white.
Pretty nice.
Given what they give, the latitude they give to Golden Age because of the paper and everything else, that's off white to white at worst.
Yeah.
Wow, that is
So
great.
a little bit of staining.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. Not necessarily staining, but just discoloration in there.
That's a great book, man.
But yeah, colors are all really good on it. I doubt. I mean, I don't like sending anything. I'm not like you. I don't slab everything I have.
I don't slab everything, only 10%.
Only
Wow.
10% you don't slab. You mean?
We're knee deep
So
in it
yeah,
now,
I don't know what
folks.
plans are for it other than to put it with the rest of the gold. But
Yeah, no, but I do a lot of my older books. That's true.
Very cool.
On the opposite end, I bet less than 1% of my collection is slabbed.
That's
Well under
yeah.
1%.
All right. Is that what you got for us, Scott?
And that, well, that's it.
Oh, the last book you'll ever
Better
what
not
is it?
open
The
it.
last book you'll ever read?
why are there two?
Yeah,
There's only one.
the X-rated covers.
Yep. I have no idea what they look like.
Well, of course not, because
Yeah.
if you read them, you
Yeah,
don't.
don't
that's all
read
I-
those.
Picked up. No, I haven't read these yet. They just
Your
he
eyes
had
will
a set
fall
of these X-rated covers opened.
Yep.
And I thought, well, hell, that's pretty cool. So
So, what are the real facts in that book? Like,
It's just one fact.
well,
It's singular.
I may
not,
read
not
it,
plural.
but it looks like it has something to do with how your favorite movie serials are made.
Okay.
yeah, these were educational books, right?
There were any number of comic books had all kinds of different.
But I mean, real facts.
Stories.
Those were meant to be educational.
And
The
there may be
first-
some good dog training tips in this one.
The first 2 issues, I believe, were created by some real hacks that went on to do nothing. Jack Kirby and Joe Simon.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they for a reason. They really suck.
Hacks.
Those hackers were hacking.
Hackalicious.
You say Kirby did?
I think he did issue 1 at least. I only know because it went up for auction a few years back. That's the only time I've ever.
It's written by Whitney Ellsworth, and art is Mort Meskin, Jack Farr, and Virgil Finley.
Look up issue 1.
I just tried to. It has no data on it.
I'll see if I can find anything.
All right, Michael. I'm gonna blow you up here.
Oh, don't blow me up. Well, I don't
It's a
have.
bird. It's a plane. It's Becker.
Kirby and Sprang.
It was Kirby and Sprang. I knew Kirby was involved.
Yep, Kirby and Sprang.
Okay, so I was half
Joe
right.
Simon did a story in there though.
Show us what you got.
Yep, Joe Simon did do one of them.
So this
All right.
isn't all my books. I picked up some of my books from. Well, I picked up one shop, and let's see. I've got Batman, Urban Legends.
Batman.
I'm really glad Rob clarified this for me. I thought I was going slowly colorblind on specific books.
or that every copy you picked up was misprinted.
Yeah, I thought I had some money there.
The first issue 1, I remember looking at it and going, "Is this a misprint?" Or is
It's rare.
Challenge of the Super Sons.
Super Sons.
they have to go get super?
No,
dates?
they're separate. They broke
Are
it
they
up.
super? Okay.
Sons.
The Super Sons.
They gave them the full super.
That's
moons.
almost over. That's issue 6 of 7.
Yeah.
I Am Batman.
So who's the writer for that?
Ridley?
Okay. Academy Award winner. I thought I saw the ad say.
It's them secretly still releasing G5 or 5G, whatever you want.
The Joker.
That's a great
the
cover.
Number 7.
That's a great cover.
I gotta find where that went because I couldn't believe we didn't have any on my shelf.
Yeah, I didn't see that today either.
Justice League 67.
Yep.
And then Titans United #1.
They play out of Glasgow, right?
Yes. Titans United.
Yep. And then I've got 2 Marvel books here. Fantastic Four's excuse to charge me $10.
Oh, the 60th. Yeah. That's a fun
Yeah.
cover, though.
It
There's
is
a
a fun
bunch- yeah.
cover.
So there's a bunch of variants for that. And one
I'm
that's
sure.
like a virgin variant for that, too. But that's a good cover.
And then I don't know why I did it, but I love Fantastic Four, so
Yep.
I did get Life Story, and I've been following that.
Oh. You watch 2 cool guys, 2 hot picks. Good for you, Mike.
I do.
Just say
This is
yes.
the part where you say, I do.
I do. Actually, did you
Yeah.
have this pick?
Exclamation mark,
That was,
not question mark. Come on.
That was my pick.
That was
say
your
my-
pick.
Yeah, my pick was
So
that.
I've actually enjoyed it, but
Yeah, the last issue was actually really good.
I've not minded the series. I've read the first 2 issues. I don't think I read issue 3.
Isn't that just
I've
high
got
praise for a
Primordial
comic these days?
coming.
That
Yeah.
I did not mind it.
Did not mind it. That's how I
So-
refer to like
Mo-
ASM and Batman.
no,
Spencer's
I don't.
Spider-Man
I'm not
and-
even that generous on ASM.
Eh,
Come on, I do mind that it's a
I
pile of
I
garbage.
hear it's awful.
It's
I hear nothing good.
it's effing horrendous. Oh, like I said, though, the short story that was in the last couple pages of the last issue was good, but that was just because it focused on 9/11.
So there's something I wanted to point out here.
Okay.
Remember why he had that helmet?
I do, because that's when I first picked up my very first Fantastic Four. Was that issue
Where
When-
Wolverine went
when
ham on
Wolverine
his
clawed
face?
his face? Yep. The fight between the new Fantastic Four and the old Fantastic Four.
That
Wolverine,
was so
Ghost
cool.
Rider.
When I was a kid, I was like, yeah.
No, I mean literally that.
What? Ben's a
That
good guy.
was actually, as much as we talk about my man Miguel O'Hara over here, that Fantastic Four issue with the with the new Fantastic Four and the old Fantastic Four, and that issue, that was actually the very first comic book that I picked up when I started reading them for the first time, finally in the 90s.
Yeah, I love that part because I don't know. Were you guys around when I was talking about my Wolverine early 90s fetish where I would like wear garden weasels and run around the woods behind my house?
No,
Yeah.
but you're going to tell
I
it
missed
again.
that conversation.
You what?
I missed that conversation.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't injure myself.
Yeah, we're surprised too.
Yeah. But that was my thing. Got me beat up a lot at school. There's that weird kid. So I even think I showed up to like 5th grade and I wanted people
Obviously,
to
you
call
weren't
me
wearing those
Logan.
garden weasels right if you got beat up at school.
Yeah. Don't think I wore them to school. That was the problem. And my healing factor must have been slow to kick in.
The healing factor of a fat nerd.
Right?
That's more of a Canadian thing.
How did you know I was fat?
I'm just
What
pulling
tipped it
out.
off?
I'm just pulling at something.
Oh.
No, come on, Chris. You Canadians, you have a different healing factor. You guys all got hockey blood in you, young kids, so you guys are fine. Go
Resistant
rub some
to-
ice on it. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's resistant to cold weather, but that's a myth.
Oh, but I was going to comment about that Primordial you had.
Yeah.
I ordered the Lashley variant from the 616.
Yeah.
And then I think I'll have the main cover waiting for me at the other shop. My new shop I'm switching to. I'm kind of halfway through.
Made the old shop
through
shut
to-
down.
Yeah. Well, they're still open, so I got some of the last of my books today from them, but Friday I'll hit my new shop and pick up the rest of my pull. But that Primordial, I really liked Lashley's cover to that.
I agree. There was I don't know if Jeff Lemire did it on purpose or not, but there's a few like unknown Canadian artists that have a couple covers. Mike Ruth is one that comes to mind. He he's just a local Canadian artist that does all the cons in and around Ontario, whether it's, just basically a Comic-Con or one that's like pulp culture, doesn't matter the size, he's always there. And he actually has a normal cover and a Virgin variant, and they actually look terrific. I know there's a couple others that caught my eye, but yeah, the Lashley one, obviously, whenever Ken does something, it catches my eye just because, I claim to be friends with him. And, but yeah, I claim. But yeah, I got through the first couple pages just before we went live. And the interiors by Andrea Sorrentino look terrific. Carlito, I sent you a link, my man. Come on out and join us if you like. Show us what you got. And yeah, I thought it looked really cool. Again, I really enjoyed Cold War era history and things that the things that were going on between the United States and Russia, or the Soviet Union, pardon me, back in those days, and dealing with East and West Germany. So I really hope that Jeff Lemire really spotlights, the Soviet Union versus the United States in this. And yeah, if it wasn't going to be Mark's hot pick on Sunday, it was going to be mine. But he beat me to the punch.
That's awesome.
The
other thing I was going to say, I bought the Lashley's cover to that, like the one, his original. I'm talking the art to it.
Chris, I got to roll on out of here. I got to go get some stuff good on here because it's getting close to that dinner time and stuff here.
That dinner hour. Thanks for joining me, Rob. I appreciate your time, my man.
Take it easy, y'all.
See ya.
I will see you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday
for another amazing episode of Chris's
Bye, Rob.
Flex Hour.
Slab hop.
Hey, Rob.
Take it easy. All right.
But yeah, that'll be only my third cover I own.
Well, that surprises me there.
No, fourth cover. But yeah, I don't have a lot of covers. They're hard to get. They're usually, Chris, I'm sure Lashley covers don't come cheap. And the only reason why I was able to get this one is because his indie work goes for a little less than the big two stuff.
Yeah. Now, did you say you got it from 616? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm talking the original art I bought from him, and then I ordered the two variants, or his two variants they did at 616, and then I'm going to frame it all together.
Oh, very good. You like it that much?
Yeah, I really like
up a lot of real estate.
I get it, but for me, I've wanted a Lashley cover for a long time, and to get his originals to anything, I'm gonna get it all framed.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, that's pretty awesome to get a cover that you actually, it's on your list.
And he's like to the point where this will be. I have a couple things coming from him. I have 8 pieces of his work here, and then I have 3 on the way. So I'll have a total of 11 Lashley pieces. I know, I've seen that. That is awesome, Chris.
Yeah, he's such a good dude too.
Yeah.
Like he whipped this up in about 15 minutes.
It's crazy how fast he can do those.
And he's just a genuinely nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point where he was doing some cons in Ontario. I like to tell the story that he thanks, my brother. He would say, if you bring me treats, I'll give you a sketch.
Yeah.
So he if you bring donuts or even like a veggie tray or
potato chips, Cinnabon.
Yeah,
Americans,
he always really
wants us. He wants us to always bring him Peter Pan.
But yeah,
peanut butter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's his thing now. He always wants Americans to bring Peter Pan peanut butter.
Yeah, I do have a lot of his stuff. I just don't have it right beside me. But yeah, this week on Slab Hub coming up, it's going to be, I'm kind of just thinking it's going to be my also ran stuff, like a lot of my 9.6, 9.2, stuff like that. But I do have some
scrubs.
Yeah, but there are a lot of the original artwork that I got slabbed up, like a lot of the cover work. They'll be in there, and I think there's still a couple more Kens that way. There might be a Kari Andrews as well, stuff like that. But Yeah, that'll be Sunday. We're bringing out some of the also ran stuff before Rob and I get into having guests on Slab Hub.
That's cool.
Come in and start to show off their stuff. I'm running out of stuff. But yeah.
I have a CGC 9.6 Lashley Venom head. I don't know where it's at, but I have one.
I remember him telling the story that he did the interiors to Superman Doomed when the new 52?
Yeah.
Yeah, when the new 52 redid the storyline for Doomsday, and Doomsday coming to kill Superman, and as we all know, in the middle of Doomed, Superman actually defeats Doomsday by ripping him in half, and that's actually a full spread sheet between 2 pages. And I remember talking to him about it after Doom came out, and I just said the part where he rips Doomsday in half above his head. I actually said, Ken, pardon me, that's glorious. And he started joking, and he said, I've sold that spread. And I said, oh, did you? And he said, yeah, it was a guy reached out to me online, said that he has the original artwork for when Doomsday kills Superman. The whole scene where Lois is holding on to Superman. And I said to Ken, yeah, I have that too. I would say that too in order for you to sell me this important page of, comic book history where the retelling of it, Superman wins the battle. And Ken laughs. He goes, yeah, me too, until he brought it. So yeah, the con that he agreed, I believe it was San Diego. And that year, I believe San Diego actually flew out Ken and his entire family because they're doing a spotlight on Superman. And they wanted to have a relevant Superman artist that was current handle speaking about Superman. And so the man who purchased Ken's spread of Doomsday being ripped in half has the original artwork of when Superman dies. And he brought it to Ken to show him and to literally just put it side by side. Like, this is what happened the first time. This is what happened the second time. So, yeah, I thought it was a hell of a story. And, yeah.
That
Scott
is
Mars
so
is saying
cool.
hello.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a pretty good collection himself too. I like his John Byrne stuff, and
he's a big Mutant fan, and he's a big Black Panther fan. He always tells a story that he grew up loving the Black Panther, and obviously being an X-Men fan, a Generation Xer, so he grew up with Claremont's run on X-Men too, and that it was his dream to run or to draw X-Men, like to draw an X-Men book. And of course, he's done it, and he's handled various number ones as well as doing variant covers and normal covers for, because Marvel relaunches X-Men, every season it seems. And but yeah, he in the end he got to do a Black Panther, one of the biggest Black Panther spec
I was gonna
books
say, wasn't
going.
he? I was gonna say
the whole
he
Shuri,
did the Shuri, yeah,
one of the biggest spec books on the market today. Ken is responsible for it, and he got to draw his dream. And he did Excalibur for a while too. So he not only did he get to do the franchise title, he did some of the other stuff too.
Funny enough, I think the first time I ever saw him at a con, first time I ever met him was at San Diego. And I sought him out because I was huge into Rising Stars.
Yeah.
I loved that book. I know it took nowadays people kind of make fun of it too, and I don't get why. Like, I think it holds up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in a group that people were kind of panning it. What's his name? J. Michael Straczynski or whatever his name is.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew I was saying it wrong, but let's just call him Babylon 5 guy.
Babylon 5 guy.
Babylon 5 guy, I think just ever since his Spider-Man run, he just takes a lot of crap for everything he did in comics. And I don't think it's warranted. If you read Rising Stars even now, even though that came out 20 years ago, I feel it holds up. I haven't read it in a few years, but I read it like 2 years ago, threw it again.
I'm sorry, but if we're going to talk ASM writers, he is not villain number one when it comes to bad writers.
Why? But why? So I quit reading Spider-Man by that point. I got off pretty early in my. I just had to pick what I was going to be into. You know, you can't buy everything, and Spider-Man was just something where I think in the early 2000s I was like, nope, I'm not. Or it might have even been earlier than that. I might have gotten off during the end of the Clone stuff.
Okay. The whole Ben Reilly and King.
Although I think I stuck with it a little bit longer because I know I stuck with it through 9/11. I have.
Okay. So you have the black cover?
I do. And so like I know I stuck with it through that point, but somewhere in the early 2000s I was like, well, something's got to give here, you know. You can't get everything. So I got off of that book and stayed off. What did he do that was so unpopular though? I want to say, was he One More Day?
No, that was Dan Slott.
That was Dan Slott. So
Pretty sure that was Dan Slott.
What did Babylon 5 guy do to? I guess I can just look it up.
Yeah, I'm pretty. If there's someone in the chat that can correct me, I'm pretty sure One More Day and the death of Peter is all on Dan Slott's hands. Yeah, I remember Joe Quesada actually had a lot to do with that too. The whole.
Oh no, it was One More Day.
It was One More Day?
That's J. Michael, yeah.
Okay. No,
I thought that was it, but
Joe Quesada has his hands all over that too, though.
Isn't One More Day like now a hot book, though?
For a hot second there, because everyone thinks that the trailer that just dropped is going to have something to do with it.
It's not
there's
good.
Too many
right?
people that walked away from ASM because of that series. The whole Mephisto, you know, wanting their love, and that, you know, the whole idea of just Peter not want or fallout from Civil War. I thought that's what it was. Or just,
he should have stopped after Babylon 5.
It was just.
I actually liked Babylon 5.
It was just too much special effects. It was just.
I didn't mind it. I used to watch. I think that was a time in my life where I got very few channels.
Okay.
So I was willing to put up with a lot for sci-fi content.
But the One More Day and then the fallout from it too, and then they lost a lot of readers because of that.
Did you stick with Spidey through that? Were you reading at that time?
No, that was it for me. Yeah. That was
what made you come back?
I was reading a little bit into 700. So I was reading the Red Goblin run, that little bit of the Red Goblin run, and then Dan Slott killed Peter off, basically, or killed his consciousness off, however you want to.
Superior Spider-Man.
And then we got Doc Ock as Superior Spider-Man, and I read some of it. I picked up a couple of the books. I picked up the Foes of Spider-Man, a lot of that other stuff, and it was okay. But to me, it was artificial, just because my Spider-Man's Peter, and I'm not saying that, and that's not to take anything away from Miles, because I do read Miles and enjoy Miles too. But this two totally different places, two different characters, and how they approach being Spider-Man or whatever. But when Spider-Man got relaunched, and we have that Humberto Ramos famous cover of ASM #1, the giant size one, where Peter's web slinging without the mask on, but it's pure joy. Probably the worst of those covers, and they picked that to be the main cover. Either way, that's when I got back on board. And then
there was a Stan one too, where he was like, "Welcome back."
Yep, and there was 1,000,001 variants for that one, and then from there I started reading Renew Your Vows, and that was a different take, but that was still good too, and I've been just picking it all up ever since, and I never thought it would get to the point where we're just getting the same villain crammed down our throat for the better part of like 25 issues. And it's not even a good character. And it's somehow Peter's at his mercy. It's just like almost like like a love slave, or it's just ridiculous. And I found out a little while ago that, okay, so Spencer's leaving, and then it was Celebration Day, and everyone was happy for Spider-Man readers and Spider-Man collectors. And then we find out issue 75 is going to be the change where it all happens. And then moving forward, it's not even going to be Peter. It's going to be Ben Reilly, becoming the main character
I kind of like Ben Reilly.
in Amazing Spider-Man. Like, but why? Why do they keep doing this to us? Why can't they just give us
weird Ben Reilly thing? You can probably guess why.
Yeah, why can't we just have a different villain every second or third issue? Like, why do these arcs have to last a generation? Like, but it is what it is. Like, am I going to buy it? Hell yeah. Am I going to like it? I don't know, but Ben Reilly's all right.
He was a new warrior.
He was a new warrior. But does he deserve the flagship title?
Yes, because he was a new warrior.
Come on, he doesn't. Like, come on, we're talking the franchise title here. He doesn't deserve the franchise title. He deserves his own. Does he deserve his own book? Sure, Miles has one.
Bring in Night Thrasher too.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of heroes on skateboards.
I like that during that era. I like the whole Midnight Suns, I gotta admit.
Oh, yeah.
I was reading a lot of that, Marvel horror. There's nothing horror about it. But I enjoyed it. See, Mars is right. Why? Why is Ben Reilly getting the franchise title? But when people talk about those characters, like what you just said, my mind goes back to the late 80s, early 90s, and when a lot of those characters were first introduced, like Speedball and that Spider-Man annual. I often think of the Midnight Suns stuff that was going on with Morbius and Ghost Rider, and that was good cheesy horror stuff. There's nothing horror about it, but yeah, I thought it was all right for the time.
What was Roy's last book? Roy Thomas ended his Marvel days in the early 90s, and it was with a book. It was kind of like Midnight Suns, but not quite like Midnight Suns. Secret Defenders. Defenders. What a way to go out of a 40-year career. Here you go, guys.
Here you go. So you're thinking about leaving us? Okay, we're going to give you, How
about Darkhawk, and what was it? Was Johnny Blaze or Nomad on that team? I think it was Johnny Blaze. Yeah. But without there it is. Hey, thanks, Scott. So who do we got here? Is that Nomad on the...
Yep, we got Nomad.
Wolvie.
And that Spider-Girl back there?
Yep.
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman. And Darkhawk and Doctor Strange.
Right. So they were afraid it wasn't going to sell, so they put the guy in the middle.
And it's a red hollow foil cover, of course, like they had to do in the 90s.
Just in case Wolverine won't sell this book, let's give it a red hollow foil as well.
First appearance of Decimator. First appearance of Talkamac. And first appearance of Dreadlocks.
Perfect. All the ones that you know and love.
Household names, every one of them.
I don't know any of the... Don Hudson sounds familiar for the inker. But I don't know anybody else that was on that.
And I might be mistaken, but I think he only did issue 1. And then I think Roy left comics pretty much after that.
Nope, he did 2, 3...
Okay, so he did the first story arc, maybe?
So he gave him the arc.
But
how many titles did that last? 21, 25?
Roy did through issue 8.
Okay.
And it was a 25-issue series.
Yeah.
Well, still, sad to see him leave on that note.
Yeah. And how many times did the lineup change? I'm sure Wolverine was there throughout to try and carry it.
Printed on that first issue.
And then?
And I own 5 of them.
And then it dropped to 60,000, and then just steadily went down until 5,000 copies of issue 25.
Roy must have had a thing for Spider-Woman, though. What's her name? It's not Jessica Drew.
Oh, freak. Oh, I'm going way back in the
Is
cobwebs
it
now.
Julia Carpenter? Is that her name?
Yep. Julia
yeah.
Carpenter.
Okay, so Roy must have had a thing for her, though, because she was in West Coast Avengers when he did West Coast Avengers. Those, like, around issue 70s or so of that. I think.
I'm actually kind of nervous, Carlito, to look at the books from my teen years. I know some of them aren't pegged and boarded, so I know I got them, but I'm frightened to look at what kind of condition, because I know there's a lot of big spec books in there. Like, I know there's the first Mr. Sinister and a bunch of other, a lot of big time books, and I just know that they've been sitting in there the wrong way for a long time.
When I went through my first 10 years collection during the move and everything, I was surprised at how many doubles and triples I'd been buying of stuff over the years without realizing it. Like, oh, this book's getting hot, I better go buy it. Turns out I owned 2 already.
Very good. Mike, are you friends with Kyle the Promiscuous Time Traveler on IG?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Kyle, if you want to reach out to him, he'll send you the link for this chat if you want to come on and show us what books you picked up. Because I'm on my phone, I can't.
Yeah, I'll find him.
Yeah. And you can come on out from beautiful California and show us what you got. If you got a few moments to join us, my man. But that era, late 80s, early 90s, there was a lot of good cheese, is what I like to say. Like this, slap together stories and 6-issue miniseries that just have a tiny little thread connected to, say, Secret Wars 2 or the Mutant Massacre, because X-Men and Spider-Man were the biggest things going. And the next level down, you had the Punisher, and the Punisher was getting like a new monthly, every season as well. But those were fun times. If you're a hardcore reader like what I was back in those days. I remember I used to get $5 or $10 allowance depending on the week, and I would walk to my comic shop because I didn't want to spend any of that money on bus tokens or bus tickets, so I could just maximize the money. And I remember, for example, the Spider-Man that I got here, the first Spider-Man I ever bought with my own money, was 95 cents Canadian. So that meant that with taxes, I was able to get like 8 books, possibly 9, if I had $10. And that's how I ended up with a lot of that cheese. I remember if there was 9 books that I wanted, I could get 9 books, but then I could get Marvel Age, because Marvel Age was 35 cents. And I'd be able to get that book as well and read what's coming out, in the next short while. And I had no idea that I thought Marvel Age was just basically just informative information.
I sent it, Kyle.
Informative news. And now those are spec books too. 35-cent book in the day and age of $1 and a $1.25 cover price.
So we just have to wait till Secret Defenders is worth money then?
Right.
People will want, if you build the red foil, people will come.
Put a superstar writer on it in his final days. But truer words have never been spoken. Being frugal with your money to buy things that you enjoy is totally worth it. Truth.
What was the 90s cover you liked the most? Because mine was that all white Fantastic Four Human Torch where he went Nova.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I remember thinking that was so
80s?
cool. Oh no, that was early 90s.
Okay, my favorite 80s cover is Classic X-Men #1, the Arthur Adams cover where all the X-Men are there and Wolverine is kind of got the claws
good,
popping
man.
that
I'm
way.
talking about stuff you look back and you're like, I liked that. Ooh,
Oh,
cringy.
well then,
I'm more talking about I had fond
gimmick
memories
cover?
of this. Yeah.
Okay. the gimmick cover that I actually really want to get a 9.8 in right now is that Dale Keown Incredible Hulk, where it's just all solid green with a little bit of purple. And look at that night! That's a great cover. That's not cheese at all.
Yeah, this is my legit favorite '90s cover, I think.
Okay, but yeah, my favorite.
If you're
the
talking
cover that comes to
gimmick,
mind.
man, there's so many to pick from.
Oh yeah, like
Daredevil should always have the coolest covers.
Yeah, those hologram
I didn't pick it
covers
up, but
for the
that new
Spider-Man
Daredevil
titles,
from
those were
last
good
week was
cheese.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I get Daredevil, so I did pick it up. My Daredevil collection's legit. I love those books.
Yeah, the one thing I can say about Daredevil, he's always had a very good writer. Most of the time, he's had a very good writer.
Well, I was gonna say, I can't remember who it was. I'm trying. Who would it have been? Late '80s.
After Miller?
After Miller. Miller didn't do the Typhoid Mary story.
Typhoid Mary, no.
Who was that? Because some of that was really bad.
Was it? I have a hard time pronouncing his last name. John B-O-N. John.
See, I didn't pay attention to stuff like that back then.
I was
but
more
I
about the
remember
artist,
reading
I'll
it,
be honest.
and I remember reading it not too long ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, and being like, "This isn't good."
Do you remember the Lobo's back that had actually 3 covers on the same book?
Oh, Lobo.
Yeah.
My mom caught me reading Lobo as a kid and took it away.
Really?
Yeah, back because when I was a kid, Lobo was an 18 book.
For me, I remember the book that my mom kind of like double looked at and picked it up and said, "Nope," was Judge Dredd.
Okay, I could see that. My mom was pretty like on that stuff. Like she wanted to make sure I wasn't getting stuff with too much adult content.
Yeah, I remember another book like American Flag, Flagg.
Yeah. Howard Chaykin.
Yeah, my mom didn't like that either.
There were a couple of like pool covers with girls in bikinis on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that became like a whole thing. Like after that, like Jim Lee was pumping those out by the ton, and a lot of
American Flag though. That's probably Howard Chaykin's best work. All right, guys, I got to pop off. I'm getting an on-call thing from work, so I'll talk to you later.
Very good. Mike, thanks for joining me, my man.
Yep, see you.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom didn't like those.
It's not every cover's risque. I mean, there's a couple.
Yeah.
So she must have just saw the wrong one then.
Yeah, and like I said, Judge Dredd, she actually picked up Judge Dredd and actually turned a couple pages and just like, nope, you are not reading this. But yeah. American Flag.
I've got several issues of that. I have no idea where they came from, but of American Flag.
Yeah, I can remember there was a book that one time my dad picked me up at the mall where my LCS was, and that was Martial Law, but MARSHALL. Not what happens when the military takes over. And he looked at that, and I remember I had Martial Law issue number 1, and I thought, oh my God, it's going to be worth a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. And he looked at it, and he was just out the window. There's just no way are you spending my money on this garbage. But my dad was religious. Book? It was an independent. I think it may have been from the same publishing house that did Judge Dredd.
All right, so it's not this.
That's the cover. That's it right there. Right there. That is the book my father threw out the car window.
So it was Marvel, published under their Epic.
Okay. Yeah. but yeah, I thought it was very similar. It kind of looks like what Judge Dredd would be. Like there was that little bit of that flavor to it. But yeah, Taylor, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, those wacky Brits had a thing for fastest. Yeah, it was all just copying Alan Moore. Let's be honest. But yeah, yeah, that cover right there. He just looked at it and he was just like, nope. He'd even open it. But yeah, I can remember issue number 2 there. I ended up with that one too, right there. Sorry, Dad. I did go back and get issue 2 because it just looked cool,
So, do you
But,
still have that issue?
I may. I have most of the books that I acquired as a teenager. Like I said a few moments ago, they're not in the best shape. I read everything, and I actually read most books 2 or 3 times over, and because I would read it the day that I got it. And then I would read it when I picked up the next issue because I want to be up to date on it because I was reading a lot of stories in those times. Not much has changed, but I was reading a lot in those days. So
Yeah.
I'd want to be updated and then I'd read it, get into the next issue and go like that with each one. Unless it was a big book that it would always be locked in my memory, like the ASM Uncanny and of course the Fantastic Four. But I may have gone back and bought another one of those. I'm not sure if I did or not, but I can remember.
Yeah, I was just going to ask
my
you if
dad-
you ever got the one that went out the window. If you ever,
I didn't know. The one that went out the window ended up on Kipling Avenue. I'm sure it was run over a few times, but no, he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy about that book. But it was my mom that was a little bit more judgmental, even though my father was very religious. And
but
Kyle,
you, I
my
mean,
man.
even now in adulthood, you haven't gone back to pick it up.
Maybe I may have it. I'm not sure, but no, that's not at the top of my list. Even though it's kind of humorous thinking about that. Yeah, my mom, my dad were kind of picky about the books that I purchased there, and I had so much worse stuff, like just pure independent
Right.
garbage, nudity, and I remember a book called Blood. And that one being like a vampire story and nudity, like painted nudity in that one. I was just like thinking, my goodness, this is like a step down from Penthouse. And and just like hiding it and hoping my parents would never go through my books, even though they couldn't care less. They were just like, on the spot parenting. Let me see what you got there. If they didn't like the cover of something. But I always try to have the franchise up front and be like, look, Mom, I got the new Spider-Man. And then she was like, "Get out of here! I need to smoke." So, but yeah. All right, Kyle. So you had a big day today with your books.
This is a small day actually for me. I usually pick up about $200 worth of books or so each week.
All right.
Cool.
Show us
awesome.
what you got.
All right. So Marvel, I bought one Marvel book. Boosh.
Boosh. Really? I thought maybe you would have picked up The Widow today. But yeah.
I looked at it. The cover is amazing. And
yes.
I'm like, I flipped through it and I'm like, I don't know. I like what they were doing early on in that series, but as they started progressing, they just slowly lost me. But that cover is amazing. And she actually wears the dress inside.
Yes.
And it's I like it when covers actually relate to what's in the book.
Unlike 80s and 90s books, yes.
Right? And then like appearance. Well, here's something like Joker.
Yes.
He appears at the end, but like,
That's a great cover though.
It's a great cover. Yeah, like this would be you could tell a cool story with this cover, Joker flying a plane, but it's not really what goes on.
Right.
And then I bought one more DC book. I bought 2 DC books. I had to get this because DC Animated is amazing.
Yeah, and that's a fun story. If you haven't read it yet, I thought it was fun.
I flipped through it and I could do a lot of it. It was really fun, like the different personalities. Obviously, I'm not Harley Quinn, but I could relate to the personalities, and it was really cool seeing the character development. And then Mark's pick of the week, I picked it up, Primordial. And then
have you read it yet?
I have not, but I did flip through it. The art style is really, I want to say like a cliche, like primitive, but it's like very like it's minimalistic art style, but it's still detailed. Like I don't know how to I don't know how to describe the art style. I don't know if I love it or not, but I think that it's interesting and it
I
really
think,
plays with the book.
Taylor hit a home run here talking about that Joker book. The book should be called Jim Gordon's Mustache Goes on
Yes.
an Adventure.
I would still
Very
read
good,
it though.
very
Like the
good.
story, like
Yeah.
granted it's a slow story, but there's a lot of character development, and I like what they're doing with Jim Gordon. So I missed out on the Ash versus the Evil Dead kind of thing, but I
Yep.
did last week. So I picked up the sketch cover so I could do some
Very good.
cool chainsaw whatever I want to do with it. So got another printing of Eat the Rich. The letterer in Eat the Rich is probably my favorite thing about the book. Like, I've never seen lettering like taken as like a serious art form.
Yep.
And another book that I think this is my favorite book, my favorite series, By the Horns. The lettering in this is also really good. They actually changed the colors for the lettering for the different characters, so it's really easy to read. But this is by far. I'll get every cover to this. I do
It's
not
a
care.
great cover.
This book is this series is so awesome. Like I said, I interviewed the artist to it. There's a reason that I did. It went to an ongoing series, but if you listen to my interview, they had plans for it. Like, they weren't pushed there. They were ready to expand the universe. They were just waiting for them to get their tails out of their legs. I'm not sure if this is a different cover, but like my store will get Sweet Paprika covers like spoon fed to them a week at a time. But I'm really enjoying Sweet Paprika and what was the name of that story? It's something with Lucky Devil. That's what it is. Lucky Devil is really good. I'm really liking like what they're doing with it, and in the sense of he had like a demon expunged from him, and the demon is like now powerless, and he has the demon's powers, and then now there's more demons coming after him. Like, it's just super cool. I picked this up for a friend, but
Wind.
I've been reading it before I ship it out to them. But they wanted all the Wind covers. This is the end of the second story arc.
Okay.
And it's
Tynan keeps saying that's his favorite story of everything that he does.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be a graphic novel.
Yes.
And so what I'm going to do, like when I collect it, I'm going to get 3 graphic novels. He wrote it for 3 series. I already got the first graphic novel, 1 through 5, then 6 through 10, and 11 through 15. So I'm excited for that. This is the end of another second series, 7 Secrets, number 12.
Yep. Mark from Legion of Comics is in love with that story.
It's so cool, and it's like blow your pants off. Like, whoa, this is really intense. And like, there's a lot of hype when that first released. And it died down, and then the story got even better than what people would expect.
I heard this. The second arc is carrying the title now by far.
Easily, yeah. So I have 3 more books to show, and they're going to be off the wall. Because I love picking up off the wall books. Here's Dose.
Dose. Who's the publisher? Now that's a great cover too.
So at the bottom it just says Kaiju Sex. I don't know what the publisher is.
Truly alternative.
Let's find out. Yeah, and the book is like, the cover is it's not gloss. It's like a matte cover, and the book is like. Hold on, I'm gonna find the. First off, it's black and white. Publisher Drew Ford. So it's
self-published?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doses. Yeah. It's just a bunch of people's names. John Gebbia does the covers. Sean Ellis does the story. They both own all the rights for it. And the publisher is Drew Ford.
Very cool.
And yeah, it's so
Kaiju
off the wall.
Sex.
It took. I mean, the cover's ridiculous. It took so long for issue 3 to come out. This is issue 3. But I picked up issue 1 like 6 months ago, and then issue 2 about the same time, maybe a week after that, and then it took another 5 months. Next is Possessive, number 2. This is from the same people that did Man, Goat, and Bunny Man. Or Man, Goat, and Bunny Man. Yeah. Right? Man, Goat, and Bunny Man? I don't know. It's a
Sounds very
Xenoscope. It's
familiar.
a Xenoscope title. Basically,
Okay.
This guy, he...
That's a
I'm
creep.
just
Hold
gonna-
that up again, Kyle.
Yeah,
That's a creepy cover.
Okay, so this guy has a failing relationship, right?
Yeah.
And he buys their dream home to try to keep the relationship alive, but it's haunted, and he keeps calling people to exterminate the people, or to like get rid of like the haunting. And I truly hated Possessive. Yes.
Number 1.
That's fine. This is number 2. Let me know if my description brings you back on. But he calls over these people to get rid of the spirit, right? And whatever's haunting the house. And they keep dying. And the cars keep stacking up in the parking lot, or in his driveway. So he just has like a bunch of cars, and like the people keep going upstairs to like deal with the problem, and then they die, and then he calls somebody else. And like the next guy comes in and he goes, you have guests over? And he's like, no. But there's like a bunch of cars of all the people that have failed. And then here's one to please Taylor Winder. All right. Mullet Cop. This came out this week. Mullet, Mullet Cop. This is a self-contained story. There's only going to be one of these. And it's from Scout Comics. And I was told, okay, first off, it's a heavy book. It's a $7.99 price tag. But it just got glowing recommendations from all the people that I've talked to who have read it. I have not opened it up. Hell yeah, I have Mullet Cop, but I haven't read it yet. Yeah, so Taylor, this might be on top of your list. So put your expectations a little bit higher, because somebody that I
So
trust
that's a
said that it was
Scout book,
amazing.
you said?
Yes, Scout Comics.
Okay. I was just say, Taylor did say, Possessive is the Me You Love in the Dark. Holy shitty. I was going to say, I actually didn't mind the Me You Love in the Dark. I enjoy saying the title probably more than...
I'm intrigued by the Me You Love in the Dark.
But yeah, but I like when Scotty Young is a writer, I enjoy his stuff.
So
as opposed
Middle
to his
West.
the baby work or whatever, that the baby artwork that he does and stuff.
Yeah.
That whole gimmick thing, I find it very tiresome. But the first 2 issues have been good. Has it been great? Hell no. But has it been bad? Hell no. It's been good. It's been good. So
Jorge Corona crushed it on the art. I don't like. I will just read that as a picture book if I'm not liking it, and then I picked up the trade for Stray Dogs, because
I didn't know that came out today.
Yeah, so this came out today. Yeah, there's plenty at my store if anybody needs one. I got a Scout box. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Scout subscription box. They give you all the updates
and if I'm right, you sometimes you get variant covers in those boxes too.
I don't know, because I know most Scout books have a retailer incentive. And an unlockable variant. Basically, if you buy like 5, you get like a different cover, and that's how I got the other By the Horns one. I don't know. I don't do the Scout box. Maybe Taylor can confirm if you get variants.
But yeah. But Taylor, if you want to come on, man, I think I sent the link out to one of the IG chats that we're in. If you want to come out and show the books you got
and talk crap about Possessive.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep this going until about 9-ish.
Okay.
But yeah, cool. I thought so. Like, I've seen a couple people open those scout boxes. I know that they're, I believe they are weekly, and for a decent subscription fee, like I know you're not getting ripped off of those books. Because Scout generally does have real good stories, and
they take a lot of
about
chances.
it, whatever, but they won't ship to Canada. Yeah.
Oh, they won't ship to Canada. Okay.
Yeah, I would have to get it shipped to my mailbox in Niagara Falls, New York, but the border's closed right now, so I don't really want to keep stockpiling all the crap that I have there, and I have a lot of crap there, I'll be honest. But yeah. But, okay, Taylor, if I'm on, man, please feel free to hop on. you know, it's just a community hangout. Show us what you got, kind of thing. And yeah, I'll be honest. I am
I made sure Taylor has the link.
looking forward to this. I've been reading Black
Okay.
Widow since issue 1, and I believe so. This book, it was going to be my hot pick this
Okay.
week, but I decided to go with what I went with, just because I love the Fantastic Four, and the cover is just fantastic. Not to take anything away from this, because this is a very good 1B for cover of the week.
I do, yeah.
Just for an originality. But this is a one shot within the story arc that Kelly Thompson's doing, and I do enjoy her stuff. Now, you said that this dress is in the story.
Yeah. And
very
she
good.
kicks butt in it, as you would expect.
Yeah, this is this might be a slabber. I'll be honest. I do like it a lot. And so, have you gone through this?
Like I said, I flipped through it.
Yep.
I could. The art is just caught me off guard. Like I don't know.
Andrea Sorrentino? Yeah.
It's like kind of basic art, but like it's not basic art. Like there's a lot of thought that's put into it. Like
When I went through it, I thought it had a little bit of Department of Truth flavor looking at the art.
uh-huh.
And then it's, you know, it's very out of the box type of art.
Yeah.
And but again, I am a big fan of Cold War history, especially the stuff that the Americans and Soviets were dealing with in Berlin and East and West Germany in that time period. Basically, because being a Gen Xer, I grew up in the tail end of the Cold War, and the whole Ronald Reagan Gorbachev thing. So I am looking forward to it, not because Lemire's Canadian, but I am somewhat hopeful that this is a good story.
The panel work's creative. I'll give them that. Like
Yeah.
they're not afraid to have some dead space in there.
Hold on, I'm gonna blow you up there, Kyle.
Oh, sorry. So like the panel, like it's
Yeah.
not traditional panel work. They have like, what is that, 9 panels on the first page, and then whatever this page is. Like I like. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
It's got an underground Zenith photocopied art peel. Yeah, it's just.
I would agree.
It's not bad. It is not bad.
Now,
art,
which
but I
book
just
is
don't
that,
know how
Kyle?
It's,
Primordial.
Okay.
yeah.
It's
So Scott, it has a lot of variant covers. Like Image is pushing this book big time, just because the creative team has had success before, Sorrentino and Jeff Lemire. But this is the cover A. I thought it was pretty damn cool. It uses a lot of the dot work, basically as its cover, just as a little bit of a throwback to when
Yep.
it's supposed to be happening in the 50s and that. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're not messing around.
It's a
with
Cold
panel
War
work. It's
take
pretty
on the
cool.
space race, that's for sure.
Everybody that I've talked to, they've said that this is their pick of the week. So I know Mark sniped you on the on your show there, but
Yeah.
all intents and
Primordial
like
equals the origin of the Planet of the Apes.
they're not afraid. They put the panels there, and then they just put a little 247 to establish time.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. 247, and it's just going through like a limbo of space.
Yeah. But that to me, that's pure Lemire, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Did you read May's book? I think that was also a Jeff Lemire.
Nope. I left it on the shelf, I'll be honest.
I left it on the shelf because
I'm
of the
waiting
art.
to hear people whose opinion I trust, if it's good or not. Because I know Lemire's stuff is, to me, personally hit and miss. I'm not a fan of his Valiant stuff. A lot of people are. But to each their own. I thought his Hawkeye run with Marvel was terrific. A lot of people hated that too. So, but again, Essex County, the whole 9 yards. A lot of his stuff is good.
Somebody that I trust, and this is just to kind of spin off what you said, you're waiting for somebody that you trust. They said they don't know what the hype is behind him as like a writer, but he was touching on a lot of cool concepts in Mace's book. So he said it's not enough for him to go to an issue 2 and pick it up, but he said if that was like a one shot, that was cool because they talked about like a lot of interesting topics.
Yeah.
So
to appreciate Lemire's work, you have to know the man himself. You have to know that he has strong social anxieties, that he has a problem with the whole idea of meet and greets, not because of the whole being a celebrity thing, just because he's not good in that type of social interaction. Like I
Gotcha.
said, he has anxieties, but when it's a smaller type of thing, he does come out. Like I know he has contractual obligations, obviously, to do autograph signings here and there, to push books and that. But when you catch him and he's not, if he feels more like himself, a lot of good things can happen. Like this happened for me for free when he was having a good day. And
nice.
and like whether you like his artwork or not, when someone who's as popular and as well received and has won awards as what Jeff Lemire has, when they give you a free sketch, like you're appreciative of it. But yeah, like I said, to appreciate his writing, you have to know a little bit about him personally.
And I didn't know that until you
that
just said
really comes through in his writing, that like his social anxieties and the fact that he's, he kind of lives somewhat like a hermit. Like him and his family, they're
okay.
Off the beaten path, that's for sure.
Huh. I had no idea. Like I said.
Yeah, he's based here in Ontario. But
okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Primordial. I know I was looking forward to it. Mark, obviously, I know Lee from Whack Comics. He's big on Lemire too, and he was really excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to stop mispronouncing his name. I always called him Jeff Lemire.
Well,
Lemire.
Call him what you want.
Lemire sounds phonetically right because it's IRE.
Yep. But names are the only words in the English language that you can change to make people pronounce it however you want.
That's fair.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's basically what I picked up. I'm excited to get to some reading. I already read By the Horns, of course. I'm just going to recommend it to everybody. Pick up By the Horns if you haven't.
By the Horns. I saw that a few moments ago in the chat.
It's so good. And I talk to my comic shop every single time, and he goes, yeah, I've heard zero bad things about By the Horns.
Right. So Mars said, I heard By the Horns is really good. Missed that one completely.
Yep. I've been preaching it, like just every stream that I'm on. Like, what's your favorite book? By the Horns.
But yeah.
This is the second print of one. And don't tell Mark. It's the book.
Absolutely, Carlito. To answer your question, absolutely. If you don't want to get into like some of the bigger story arcs that West Coast Avengers presented in the '80s that featured Hawkeye as its leader, Hawkeye by Lemire. I'm not sure if it was like an 8 or 15 issue run, but it's terrific. It's probably the best. Well, obviously, it being a solo story. I thought it was really good. I know it's out there readily available in trade. I know some of those books that came out from Lemire under the Hawkeye run, some of them are spec books, so some of them can be a little bit more pricier than normal. And but yeah, again, Taylor is right as well. The Matt Fractions Hawkeye, I think that's the one that has the real big spec stuff in it right now. Fraction's good as well. I even liked Old Man Hawkeye and the Old Man Logan story. Like, I thought that was really cool, but that really has nothing to do with what Hawkeye is today. But yeah, the Lemire one, like this run, I believe this one came out after the Matt Fraction run. This is 2015.
Okay.
But yeah, they're good stories, readily available in trade. I'm sure you can get them.
Pick up the trade. Yeah,
dirt cheap too. It's not like everyone's racing out to get Hawkeye trade, at least. But like I said, I know there are some big spec books with Hawkeye right now, with his TV show about to drop on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
and his daughter starting to become a normal MCU character, and everyone's going to want to hop on the MCU. Spectrain and that. But yeah. Now, Scott, I'm sure that you probably have some older West Coast Avengers stuff too, featuring Hawkeye. Do you have issue number 1?
I do not think so.
Okay.
I just have in that era. I've got all sorts of random stuff that was from collections I bought up. So
Yep.
I do not. I just checked.
I like how that you could check so easily. That is awesome.
You heard it here first. Kate Bishop, not Hawkeye's daughter. That's why her last name is Bishop. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, well, I know. I just said that, but yes, Hawkeye's children do venture into the stories eventually. But yeah, just looking at the books I picked up. Well, last week, or is this 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I want the sequel to this bad boy.
Okay.
This could be the best Marvel, potentially the best Marvel limited series since the What If story featuring Spider-Man and the Spider Shadow.
Yeah,
Spider Shadow was really good.
that was really good.
Really good. It ended basically how I thought it would, a little weak, but not as weak as how this ended. Dr. Octopus, I'll spoil the hell out of it. Dr. Octopus just showed up and ended the whole thing for Peter. But yeah, Chop and Drop, thanks for joining me, my man. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Chop.
Yeah. Very good. So have either one of you watched What If today?
Nope, I am 2
Nope.
episodes behind.
I haven't seen
Okay.
seen any of them.
No?
Oh, really? Okay.
No.
They're amusing. They're short.
Yeah, there was a Doctor Strange one a couple weeks ago, Scott, where they show Doctor Strange attempting to correct the death of his girlfriend,
Mhm.
and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse for him. And I thought it was fantastic. There is no happy ending. It is kaput, end of the universe type of stuff, and he didn't care one bit because he was incredibly selfish. But yeah, I thought that was a real good What If, and yeah, like I always say, to each their own. Some people like chocolate, some people like vanilla. But I thought it was good. And this week, I believe it's supposed to be the second part of the Marvel Zombies run that started last week.
Yep.
And we finally get Spider-Man in it, even though he's not voiced by Tom Holland. Chadwick Boseman, who's Black Panther, is in the story. Does do the voice for it as well.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It was billed as What If is being billed as the last time Chadwick Boseman did any work for the MCU, and is obviously his final work as Black Panther, even though it's just his voice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Why? You guys watch it?
I have not. Why the Last Man?
No.
Yeah.
No, I meant to record it. I did not, so I'm probably going to have to go through, do a search for it and find it. What did you think of it, Scott?
I enjoyed it. It was probably one of my favorite series on floppy. So I was on it from start to finish. They made some changes. So, but so far the changes haven't hurt it in any way, in my opinion. But it's a little different, but it's still good.
Okay. Cool. It looks like we could see it on Hulu as well as FX.
Yeah, FX on Hulu.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So if you haven't, I've been trying to get some opinions from people who have not read any of the books and really don't know what the story is.
Okay.
I've heard that most people that have read Why consider it one of the best comic books ever made.
Yeah, I mean, Mark talks about it all the time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty. Yeah, I give it high praises. I mean, saying best ever is obviously subjective, but
correct.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
'Cause
it was
I
a
think of the
pretty damn good
Watchmen.
book.
Then, like, I can think of a lot of big books.
Yeah.
These some of the best ever written. Like okay, but yeah.
I
General
would definitely
consensus:
put
a
it
lot
up
of
there.
people say that it was a very good run, a very good story.
Yeah.
But Christopher has just corrected me, saying that today's What If is actually the Killmonger episode.
Oh, so
So
we're
thanks for
actually
that.
behind. Okay.
All right. So
So I'm 3 episodes behind then.
okay.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
on Why you get 3 episodes right now, and then they're going to start dropping the last 3 weekly, I think.
Okay, cool.
Because I think it's only 6 episodes in this first run. And supposedly they're planning on 5 years or 5 seasons worth of episodes to tell the whole
Wow.
story.
Carlito's saying, Scott, I've never read the books. Now I'll have to watch it to talk to you about it. Yeah. I'm 3 behind.
Yeah, seriously.
3 behind 2, Kyle, about What If, I'm presuming Carlito meant. Yeah. But yeah, Mark from Legion of Comics was really saying that Why the Last Man was pushed on him by a former comic book shop employee that said it's worth a read. Now I've heard other things from other people and just overhearing conversations and cons and that people were trying to find 9.8s of Why the Last Man, and it's just like, Why the Last Man? That sounds like a weak title or whatever. And they're like,
Yeah.
it's actually a fantastic comic book, fantastic. But I don't even know who the creative team was behind it.
Yeah, I had
Brian
to
K.
look it up.
Vaughan.
Okay.
I just found out that it's Vertigo.
Yeah.
And,
I knew that it was under the DC banner.
Got it.
Yep.
But yeah, so Vaughn, it was his first commercial success, really, and obviously he's had quite a few big hits since then.
Very good. LCS has joined us. Station. Thanks for coming out today on the
Brian.
community hangout.
And I think all the
Taylor's-
art was done by Pia Guerra.
Taylor, waiting on the trade paperbacks for Why the Last Man to show up. I read this series ages ago, but want to reread it.
Okay, so it's good enough for a reread.
Yeah. Speaking of Vertigo, they need to make a Fables TV.
Now.
Yeah.
Fables is like a huge universe. A lot of people don't like the spin-offs though. I'm not sure why. There are some good ones.
Yeah.
There's some good Fables spin-offs.
Yeah, I enjoyed Fables. I stopped mid-series. I think it was when I got out of collecting, so I only had like maybe the first 40-some or 50 issues.
Okay.
But what I read, I really did enjoy, and I've since gone back and finished the run, but I haven't finished reading the run.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a that's a proposition to finish reading the run too. It's fairly lengthy. So.
Yeah, I can remember back in the 80s, the very first run that I actually ever put together that was like outside the normal superheroes type of genre was ElfQuest by Richard and Wendy Pinney. And Marvel released, I believe it was 32 issues of ElfQuest under the Epic.
Under the Epic.
Yeah, Epic. And they were simply just reprints or colorized reprints of the larger magazine-sized ElfQuest that came out in the late 70s.
Yeah,
and
the old Warp stuff.
Right, and I fell in love with those books. And then, after figuring out that these books were essentially just reprinted, going out as a teenager trying to get my hands on the larger size magazine stuff, which was a challenge in Canada, let me tell you. But I managed to get my hands on a couple copies, and then only to find out later that a lot of or that the Pennies continue to publish ElfQuest, and there's been short stories and long format stuff and different tribes and all that through the whole ElfQuest universe, if you want to be trendy and say that. But yeah, whenever I hear stuff like Fable and that, it always takes me way back, like that Ratatouille moment, whoosh, where I think about ElfQuest and knocking off those issues from Epic, only to find out, oh yeah, these are just reprints.
That's a cool story, though. I just sat there and listened. That was
But yeah, Carlito, when are we all going to hang out on your channel, man? You gotta,
Right?
you gotta pick a night and like let us all know. For me, on the weekends would probably be better.
I've only hung out with Carlito once on. Actually, no, never mind. Never been on his channel. I was on another channel, and he doesn't like when I talk about that experience. He was up for like
Aggressively relaxed.
40
Happy new
hours or
comic book
something.
day to you too.
Thank you, aggressively.
X11 Bravo's joined us, my man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much. Hope you and your family are well.
Hey, Chris, do you have any of those hard BCE boxes? The hard plastic boxes?
For storage.
The storage boxes.
Yeah.
Do you have them for the slab size boxes?
I have those for my raw. My slab boxes, I usually put them in my stuff in crates or in the BCW just cardboard ones.
Okay, I just wondered size wise how Golden Age books would fit in those slab boxes.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you. Okay, the oldest book I have slabbed, I know you've seen it a million times, Scott. Let me just see. Where is it?
What, Turok 18?
Turok 12.
12.
Yeah, this would be my dad's book. And it was published in 1958, so I guess that would be Silver Age, wouldn't it?
That's silver, yeah, just outside.
But yeah, it's thicker than a normal, like a modern one,
Right.
but it's the same size.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I do have stuff, like the story goes, I found this book from my dad's collection first, and I was, tickled pink, over the moon, like, oh my God, I have something from my father. And then I got that book cleaned and pressed and sent off, and it could have came back at 9.8 or an NG, and I still would have been as happy as what I am by having the first comic book that I ever found from my dad's collection slabbed up. And then I found a small stack of books a while later that he had, and a lot of those books were American Westerns, history illustrated books. There was no superhero stuff because my father was mostly into cowboys and TV show cowboys and war stuff like that. And like Hopalong Cassidy was there, Cisco Kid, Two Gun Kid, like I said, a lot of the American Westerns. But there were books in there that were from the early 50s and late 40s, and they're in real rough shape though. Like you go to open it and it's chipping, or the spine is folded over 500 times. But it doesn't matter. It's my old man stuff, and I'm just happy to have it. One day I would just like to get them properly, like into better protection, not slabbed up because it cost me an arm and a leg. But maybe some of the photo cover stuff, like the Hopalong Cassidy or Cisco Kid, maybe get those slabbed up. But yeah,
I've got some product coming in from a company called Bilco Enterprises. The first place I've ever gotten Mylar from 20 years ago.
Yeah,
and they've kind of been like on the cutting edge of the Mylar and preservation. Okay. So I've got like one of every product they make coming in. I'm going to do some quick tests and reviews on it, because it's kind of like you just said, for you want to preserve things, but you don't want to pay to have them slabbed. Yeah. With me, I don't want anything slabbed, honestly, but but that's me.
I'm with
but
you.
If I want to figure out the best way to get these books preserved for display, not only just to put in boxes, and do it efficiently and economically. So once I get the stuff in and start this process, I'll let you know how things go with it and give you some options.
I appreciate that.
There's got to be more archival options for storage and preserving.
Well, I don't know if you've ever cracked open. I'm sure you probably have cracked open a slab. They have these.
Yeah.
I cracked open Amazing Spider-Man 1.
De-acidification paper.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
that's inside.
Looks like wax.
So, and Bill Cole sells this paper, so you can put those inside your books. They say, put one a third of the way from front to back.
Yep.
Okay.
They actually used to sell backing boards that had charcoal filters built into them.
Really? That's something I've never heard of. That's cool.
And I've got maybe 100 or so of my better books that 20 years ago, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Put them in Mylar with these charcoal filter boards. They've since
Carlito.
ceased production on those.
Were they affordable?
They were kind of they're about $1 a board.
Okay.
But if you're putting them in an expensive book or a book that you just want to preserve,
then what's $1?
Yeah, $1
exactly.
to save that is nothing. So,
Right.
So they said their replacement for that is they have a sturdy archival board and then these deacidification papers.
got it. Okay.
Um,
Hey, Becker. Oh, no, he's still, he's the one that invited me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said we were supposed to end 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I've just been sitting here listening to the story time, man. I was super, I love this kind of stuff. I love learning. If I'm not learning, I'm just, bored. I'm serious. I need to learn. I need to, not necessarily consume things, but, get an understanding of things. And talking about, the science behind preserving comic books is, really fascinating to me.
Yeah. The biggest fascination, I should say, one of the most frightening things I learned about comic books when it comes to my own collection is how often you need to change the normal comic bag, plastic comic bag, and backing board. I thought this was good for 25 years. Boy, was I wrong.
No.
5.
You might be able to squeeze 10 if you're storing them in absolute perfect condition or temperature and humidity wise, but yeah.
Carlito, whenever you want to talk cigars, man. Whenever you want to talk cigars. But yeah. Gentlemen, I appreciate your time and I appreciate you coming out. But 5 o'clock in the morning is going to come really quick. Especially
it's the
here,
same time every day, Chris.
Especially where I am here at this in this time zone. But yes,
same
you're
time
right.
every day.
And I just feel crappier and crappier the more it rolls around. Oh, Miss So has come out of lurking.
Hey, Miss So.
I will lurk all day from chat to chat just to listen. Love listening
That's
to
what
you
I'm
guys.
saying. Literally just
Appreciate
hanging
it.
out and listening. It's addicting.
But yes, thank you for the kind words and thank you for your time. And gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I hope to do this again next week. So feel free to come out and show off what you got. And we'll just end it on that. For all of you that have popped in and out, Mike was here earlier. Rob was here earlier. Again, thank you very much for your time. And I feel like I should say we are Legion, but wrong channel. Anyways, Carmi, take care, boys and girls. See you later.